must succeed. Let's make sure history never forgets the name. Enterprise. Guard out.
Our lives are different to anybody else's. That's the exciting thing. There's nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Greenville, I am calling battle station. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds, but don't worry. I started a very long time ago.
Calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Good luck.
Stand by.
Ready. Commencing calculations. Zoom me there.
Across the boundaries that divide one universe from another.
Got to lock onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them.
No, sir.
Ah! All 13!
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. This is what they want. Good evening, guys. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well, wherever you're doing, wherever you are in this wonderful world of Earth. For me, it's Saturday night, baby. For me, it's Saturday night. Normally, I'm getting ready to have my cocoa and tuck myself up in bed, right? Oy vey, do I have a story to tell you. I have had agita, ladies and gentlemen. I have had agita since the last time we met. I really have, actually. And it's not the agita of waiting to be attacked by Iran, which is like, really? Everyone said it happened last night. I said, well, last time it happened on Saturday night, not Friday night. Who knows, right? Who knows? But so we're all kind of just waiting for that to happen and see how that's going to kick off. Now, no, I can't tell you that. Okay, fine. It's too rude, and I will get in trouble. I was going to highlight a layer of stress, right? This much I can go into, right? Let's just say, what is with their beloved spouse, right? And you know they they want to express their love in a physical nature, in a very beautiful and physical nature, and you know, in a way that kind of sounds like two pieces of raw chicken being slapped together, right? You know, or a big boot being caught in a bucket of wet soapy mud. That sort of love, right? There's a whole extra stress now. Going, is Iran going to attack in the middle? Really? I wonder if people have that stress, you know, during the Blitz, right? I'm right up for a shag, but like, oh God, what if there's an air raid? Right, I know. Unfortunately, my grandmother is passed away. I think she probably would have told me. I think she probably would have told me the truth. But yeah, so that goes. But yeah, man, I've had serious agita, right? Serious agita. Since last minute. Okay, so last time I streamed was Thursday, right? So then my son's coming out from Gaza. I'm like, yeah, thank God. I thought it's home till after the wedding, but he's only home till Thursday, apparently, if he's not called up to Lebanon or wherever else. Excuse me. Anyway. So then my wife's always happy, like, well, obviously, that to spend time with the kids. She yearns to spend time with the kids, right? She loves it. So she takes him out to this wings place that I know he likes, right? And I get some wings as well. So yeah, we're all doing good. So then I'm like grooving. I'm getting ready for bed. You know, get my little get my little nightcap on. You know, have a little a drink. You know, get ready to get into bed. And all of a sudden, right? I know I'm in the bathroom. I hear this sound. It wasn't me urinating, right? And it sounded like water filling up somewhere. So I'm like, oh, it just sounds like we have a thing, like a water dispenser thing. So it must be that, or like the ice maker filling up. But it kept going on. I was like, I better go and check that out, right? I better go check that out. I was looking around. I looked in the fridge. No, it wasn't the ice maker. Then I saw this pool of water appearing from underneath the fridge. I'm like, well, this is probably a very bad step, right? A very, very bad step in a very bad direction. So then I'm like, okay, so far, I think for some reason, the faucet, right, for it is on the other side of the room behind the washing machine. I forget that's the faucet for the water dispenser. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to turn it off. I'm like, oh, yeah, that doesn't do anything. Right, so I pulled the fridge out, right? And I see there's a pipe we have connected to the fridge for the ice maker, which ice maker is a piece of shit, right? It makes me about 8 pieces a day. Excuse me. I'm a big boy. I need more pieces of ice. Anyway. And it sprung a leak. And it's like, we're in a submarine. And I'm like, and this sprung a leak. It's that kind of, I was like, oh, shit. So then I go and like, there's a what's it called again? Like a faucet at the top, a tap at the top. So I go turn it, frozen solid. I'm like, what the hell? I'm trying to turn it. Then it gets bad, right? Then it gets bad, ladies and gentlemen. This, by the way, it eclipses the horror, right? The unmatchable horror of our last dog, Snuggles, right? We'll have a picture of Snuggles. Snuggles is really cute, King Charles Spaniel, right? Back legs went towards the end of his life, and one time I heard him scrabbling around upstairs because he couldn't bloody move because this is when back legs first went, and he was apparently having violent diarrhea and shitting him and going, ah! Ah! So I'm like, I went upstairs, I looked, I came down and said, I can't deal. That's right. No, yeah, Max, I'll switch off. I called my wife and said, no, that's how you got to do it. That's not me. Anyway, so I wasn't there yet, but I was about to be. Oh, okay. So it's going. Then, as I try and turn it, the whole thing comes out. And now it's like it struck gold. It's like struck oil. Like, I mean, it's this torrent. I was like, what the hell? What the fuck am I? I'm like in the house on my own, wearing my knickers, right? I'm about to get in bloody bed. So I'm like, okay, fine, go and find my robe, right? And then I'm like, okay, we got to turn the water off the house. We got to turn the water off the house. Okay, this is what I was up to right then, right? So I get my robe when I go outside. And I'm like going through the undergrowth. I feel like bloody David Bellamy, like, wow, with me great nuts, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Oh my! Finally, I find it. Right, I find the thing. It's just like a movie. It's like I got to turn it. I mean, there was way more tension than in Terminus. Right, Terminus had a very anticlimactic ending where they had to have a very bad monster flick a switch. Right, that really was a bad end. I guess it could have been done more dramatically if it had more money on it. It's look, in general, when I become a billionaire and I fix all these things, right? Terminus is here's the treatment it's going to get. We're going to digitally paint out whatever the dog boy is. I can't remember. It looks stupid, right? And we'll do a CGI cool one in its place, right? I'll do that for you and me, baby. But yeah, I think we'll do a way to make the ending look a bit more better. I mean, it's like this is bad glove holding a switch. It's just shit, right? It's really remarkably shit. It's quite a good story otherwise, though. I do like the Stephen Gallagher Doctor. Anyway, I digress. Well, it's while I'm digressing. Before that, I would have my team do the Rabbi edition of the 5 Doctors, which would include all exterior Gallifrey scenes are treated to have orange skies. Right, and look like Gallifrey and make it widescreen. I wouldn't be surprised if AI isn't there yet that you could like make it widescreen by they'll fill out the little bits on the side of the screen. Right, it really is very easy. If it's not this, because somebody hasn't written that app yet. But it's just I mean, I bet there's a way. But anyway, so I'll do that. The time scoop. Time scoop so annoyed me. This latest version really had a good version of it, but it was a pillar. Make it a pyramid with the tops cut off. Motherfucker. How hard is that? It's got to echo the 83 version, goodness sake. But but otherwise, the effect was really good. It was like a this dark crystal pillar with the Doctor's face gets caught in it in 3D. It looked really great, but it just the shape, right? Oh, and again, things like that do annoy me, right? They do annoy me. What else would I do? I would have the Thunderbolts. The laser Thunderbolts look like Thunderbolts, right? These Thunderbolts are everywhere, right? I would have. I think the 93 version is probably better. Was it 93? And also 93 version was better with the Cybermen coming across the chessboard, right? They started the effect at the right. They just did a much better job with it, really. So that's essentially will be the Rabbi edition of the 5 Doctors. Anyway, how do I go into all of this? Oh yeah. Okay, fine. It's like towering in front. I've gone outside. I found the get close the switch. Fine, but that took us into terminus. Okay, I'm there. I'm with you. Fine. So I'm like dripping wet water everywhere. Like, oh god. And also I like to make sure the door was shut so the dog doesn't run away. I'm like, motherfucker. Anyway, so I call my wife and say, who's happening having a wing? She's like, I was like, motherfucking blood, motherfucker. Right, essentially, right? That's kind of so they come home. Thank God, right? So I come back in the house, right? And I see how far the flood has got. I'm like, in hindsight, it wasn't that bad. It was just like it was cleaning the floor. And I went back to where the thing was coming from. So now it was a very gentle psst coming out of there, right? I'm like, oh, they want me to close the thing more. I can't, right? Boom, tap, baby. That's it. That's where Rabbi short out. That's where we got to. And I was like, telling my wife, I can't. You got to come home. And she was on her way home at that point. And anyway, so she came up, but man, oh God, I was trying not to fall over, the water everywhere. That was a stress fest, okay? That was like a total stress fest. However, that stress was alleviated about things we're going to talk about tonight by Deadpool and Wolverine. Man, okay, it's a recommend, but not in the sense that I wouldn't say go to the cinema to see it. If you don't mind going to movies, if that's not a big deal to you, go to the movies. Me, it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it. However, excellent. Oh my God. Like, it was a great geeky movie and it had genuine heart to it, right? And it actually had quite a bit of pathos in between the silliness. Big recommend. Wow, that was that. So I did that on Friday and I watched the first hour of Rebel Moon director's cut, right? Okay, here's the thing. I want to see Zack Snyder's vision because I think Zack Snyder is a director of some. I would say has done some very, very good stuff. I think his Justice League is the pinnacle of the superhero movie genre, right? I really do. I think it's like Lord of the Rings of superhero movies. It's stunning, right? And boy, would I like to see the rest of the movies in that cycle, right? But I genuinely found it stunning. So I also liked his Watchmen. 300 was excellent. Sucker Punch looked gorgeous, was shit, right? It was him doing a heavy metal story, and just he can't, like, don't write for yourselves that. I did enjoy the zombie one, right? That was just silly fun, right? Like that was Zack Snyder really, I think, at his best, right? I think it's when it felt like unencumbered by anything, right? And I liked it a lot. What else? What other Zack Snyder movies have there been? I don't know. I think that's a good overview. I mean, there's Batman versus Superman, which I think had the same with Justice League, the most screen accurate Batman ever. right? And there's, I mean, what I didn't like about Martha, nobody likes that, but everything else I thought was pretty good, right? I enjoyed it, and Man of Steel, okay. I mean, it was building up to Justice League, and Justice League I thought was stunning, right? And yeah, would I've loved more in that universe? Yes. There was like 2 more Justice League movies, weren't there, or 1 more Justice League movie? And I love the whole, post-apocalyptic thing where he's there with the Joker. I thought that's awesome, right? I like Suicide Squad in that era. I would have loved to have seen a Ben Affleck Batman, like a Court of Owls, maybe. That would have been awesome. Or something with Deathstroke. I mean, yeah, Deathstroke was always threatening to come in. What's the name? I can't remember the name of the guy. The guy from True Blood, just as it went shit. The werewolf guy. Anyway. Yeah, and the great thing is, you all know what I'm talking about. Right? Who was it? There was who was it from the Howard Stern show? I think Sal the stockbroker, maybe, right? Maybe his he said he had an uncle. It might have been somebody else on the show, right? And an uncle who described Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Jew broad who kills Draculas. Right, well, that's kind of true. Fine. Well done, about South. Oh, we're talking about because I saw. I was explaining why I saw Rebel Moon. So I watched the original version. I was like, yeah. I found it visually interesting and somewhat compelling. And after I started watching the second one, but could only go 10 minutes. I was like, I don't think I really care right at this point, right? So, but I wanted to see what his vision was, right? His creative vision. I think it's worth looking at because I think he's, a very not soiled. I think he really he can come up with greatness, right? Like I love to. Okay, you know what Zack Snyder film I'd love to see him direct? Raid on Entebbe. Oh, that would be off the chart. He would be perfect for that, right? If you don't know, Raid on Entebbe was when there was a hijacking in the 70s, and a plane full of Jews was kidnapped to Entebbe. And the way the Israelis got them out, well, now they're saying it was a short-range missile that took out Hanania, right? I don't know how you do that. Like, where do you fire it from? Right? If it's a short-range missile. Anyway, what was it? Oh, just seeing that. Iran will Hezbollah will strike civilian targets deeper in Israel as war fears heighten. Well, I know we're waiting bloody for it. Oh, whatever. Anyway, what was I going to say? Zack Snyder, right? Back on that side. Yeah, right. So what Israel did, they did this incredible operation where they it was Idi Amin was the president, so they had somebody a body double for Idi Amin, and they copied his car and they flew in under radar cover, and they came into the base and they looked like Idi Amin in the car. All right, and so they let him in, and they had all the paratroopers I think it was them. Then attacked the base and saved everyone. Right, it's the most incredible mission ever. Right, the only person that died was officer that died was Yoni Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu's brother. They've done a couple of movies of it. One had Richard Dreyfuss play him, I think. Right, it's a good movie, but man, a Zack Snyder Raid on Entebbe movie, that would be the bollocks, mate. Oh, that would be awesome, right? I mean, really, genuinely, that would be awesome. So yeah, I saw Rebel Moon. I'm like, okay, I think that's interesting. It strikes me as like a 2000 AD strip, like an adaptation of a 2000 AD strip. That's what it felt like to me, or like kind of like or maybe heavy metal, right? It had a good vibe to it, and I know it sort of is a Star Wars project, and now it's something else. I would love to hear how it moved from one from the other, right? I'll be fascinated to hear that. But again, I found that I can only get through 10 minutes of the second part. That's even though I'm finding it visually interesting, I just I can't. Right. So I wanted to give his full vision a good try. So the first part is 3.5 hours. I think the second part is 2.5 hours or 3. I don't know. So I think I'm going to do it in pieces. Now, here's the problem with it. Again, visually, like all Zack Snyder's are visually fantastic. What's the problem with Zack Snyder material when Zack Snyder writes Zack Snyder's material? It's Zack Snyder, right? Zack Snyder is his own worst enemy, right? Really, genuinely is, and he gets his knows to understand what's too much and what isn't. Is poor, right? And it. So I've seen the first hour of it, right? So I think I'm going to review it in pieces, right? Because why don't you just make it as a mini series, like a 6-hour mini series? That you got to start thinking in that kind of way now. Anyway, so it starts again. It starts off. It's good, but it's gratuitous. And I found it neatly gratuitous and off-putting, right? They made the bandits be so incredibly awful that it's beyond hating them. You're just like disgusted, like ugh, that's really gross. So, but again, it's this. You have this pre-credit sequence where you got the bad guy, who I think he's great in this, by the way. Skellen, whatever his name is. The bad guy, here, let me pull up a page about it. Rebel Moon, doink. Pull up the Wikipedia. What's the name again? Ed Skrein, who plays the bad guy. He is awesome. He is so good as this bad guy. He's wonderful. Very silky and evil, right? But a little bit too evil. But I do like him. He's naturally charismatic, which makes it much more interesting, right? They're much more evil and horrible. But so they're defeating this planet, and you get through exposition. They're looking for some rebels. It's taken longer than expected, right? So already I'm getting much more like the whole. Everything's filled in more. I got much more of a detailed worldview, right? And I think that's quite a testament to good storytelling, because I got so much more from this little bit they added in. So they're defeating this planet, and then it starts to get gross, right? So it's the royal family, right, who are fighting their way back to the throne room. And while they're doing that, you're seeing them like strip these women naked as they brand them as slaves. And I think that's just gratuitous, mate. There's no real need for that, right? There's no need for that. We already knew they're bad. Now you're just overselling the point. It feels like gross, right? I'm not really into it. Then you get this guy who's like super duper evil, right? He gets the son, right, who's, I don't know, 18, 20, and he has this giant like big stick, and he says to the son, I'll let your mother and your sister live if you do what the emperor says. And the emperor says, take this and smash your father's head in, right? And his father's like, yeah, you should do this, right? It's our only chance. And then that's his whole story, and he becomes one of the characters who was like a minor character in the non-director's cut. So you filled out this guy's story a lot. I think he'll probably have more to say. Fine, but again, I just found, and then again, spoiler warning, but like just how evil is. After they take the kid in, to become an officer in their army, or grunt in their army. Then he kills. Thankfully, he kills the mother and the sister, because otherwise they're going to become like sex slaves. It's just gross. It's too much. It's too much. Look, honestly, Zack Snyder should take a really great comic writer who wants to do film and TV. Grant Morrison, perfect choice. Again, I'm a big proponent of Grant Morrison's Brave New World, which I liked a lot. Which I hope Problem Being's in the audience, because they always hope in the audience, but I hope he's not, because he hated it, right? With of every fiber of it. I loved it. I absolutely adored it. I think it's probably one of the best things. It came out in 2020. Anyway, Grant Morrison, he can write, and that's Zack Snyder's failing. That intuition to know what's too much and what when you're just feeding your id. But there was good exposition in it, and so I'm. This is what I'm saying. I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep on. I'll break this into a few pieces, then I'll probably edit it all together to make one video. But okay, so then it's more stuff you saw from the movie, and I got bored. Right, all the stuff on the planet about Sophia Bull, whatever her name is, Sophia Bultella. And she's a good lead. I have to tell you, she is a good lead, and it doesn't feel woke having a female lead. It's fine, right? Because I know she can't really beat up these huge people, but she could in a comic book in the 70s, and that's fine, right? For me, that's fine. Like she looks like built enough that it's like what? Well, I mean, do you criticize your Paul in the same way? I mean, really? Well, I'm not sure I believe that person's motivation. Right? Fuck's sake! It's like spank bank eye candy, essentially. If you're into that, right? Which fair enough, good for them, right? But they have this whole bit on this idyllic colony where they're all farmers, and it must have been drawn out because I fast forwarded it because again. Way too gratuitous, right? They've had their harvesting, their planting festival or whatever, where the head of town said, "Oh, you know what we all gotta fuck each other." So this harvest comes in, I'm like, and it's the thing where they all go and have sex. So literally everybody in this world is a degenerate. It's one way or another. I'm like, well, okay then. So then there's this lengthy sex scene, which is where I fast forward. Goes on way too long, right? For Sophia, whatever her name is, and it's just like I felt it was unnecessary. Again, it's too gratuitous, right? So then then I watched from when the bad guys show up on the planet, and you get much more of an understanding what's going on there. I don't know how, but like now it feels like much more of a layered and textured story. I'm just taken out of it by this extreme grossness, right? And again, I'm assuming everybody saw the original version, so I'm spoiling that. The bad guy kills the nice leader of the village, right? And says, okay, and now you're going to give us like most of your food, and I couldn't give two shits, right? Or we're going to just kill you. And it leaves a garrison there. You get introduced to the robot played by Anthony Hopkins, which I love, right? I haven't got this whole backstory yet, but I do like this whole thing. It was a whole series of warrior robots who fought for the king. And then when the king was murdered and this new regime took over, they refused to fight, right? But Anthony Hopkins is a great choice for that voice, right? Again, there's a lot of good artistic creative decisions, right, with it, and a lot of bad ones. So I think that's as far as I got. So like about an hour in, right? So I will continue watching it. Is there? Well, I'm not going to recommend it until I finish at least the first part. So yeah, we will be doing that in dribs and drabs. Maybe I'll do another hour tonight after this after the stream. Fine, let's do the chat, and then I actually don't know what's going on in the world. I have to tell you, the came out and showed us about an hour ago. Less than that, about half hour ago, and I'm like, well, what's going on? Where am I? Went into Sabbath going, things are not looking well. Yeah, again, we are waiting for the apocalypse, ladies and gentlemen, right? That is currently going down. Hang on. Sorry, 1 second. Wait, there you go. That should do the trick. That's interesting. Man, I'm looking at YouTube. I've got like 15 people watching, but on Twitter, I got like about double that. That's wild. Wow. And how many do I have on Rumble? Let's have a look. Rumble, 4 hardy people. How are you doing, everybody? Fine, let's get to the chat. Let me pull this up. Oh yeah, so Friday, after my like tumultuous torrent of hell, as I like to describe my life, I'm like, oh man, I was rough. I've had this thing. What was it? My hill's been like hurting like hell. I think it's hang on. Wait. It's over here. Nearly. Plantar fasciitis, I think. Right. So and it's just getting better. Like on Thursday, right? I wasn't hobbling. Right, I think things were getting like normal, and then after like wrestling, in the torrent of doom in the Poseidon adventure. If you at the beginning of the show, baby, just go back and listen. By the way, if you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter and tell everybody else to follow me. I just realized I got to get like 700 followers before I can monetize, and I'm getting more bloody views on bloody Twitter. Come on there, Elon. Get in there for me, my son. What was I saying? Monetize on Twitter. Friday, cream cracker. Right, exactly. And also like hobbling again. Getting through this, right? So anyway, waiting for the apocalypse special. Yes, we are. So I have a very apocalyptic outlook. I did like the first hour of my stream on Thursday. I very rarely do this. Made my video. This is just pure AI. I didn't have to do anything to it at all. Thank you, AI. Well, it was fun while last year. This is the AI version of it. All right. I'm sorry. Illustrators are out of work, mate. I don't know what to tell you. Right. Oh, this is the Perry before I Photoshop. Looks so much better there, right? Doing. Okay, I wasn't sure I was going to get in trouble where with the headline article, queer Doctor Who draws the line at being convicted for kiddie porn. Apparently, that is the line. We've all wondered what the line is. That's it. We finally found out. Okay? Thank you, Hugh Davis. So I wasn't sure to spell it. I was like, I might get in trouble. I got another 5 days to go before I get my community strike removed. Oh, got to keep on the road. And they're super crazy now because of the election. Yeah, go Kamala, right? Yeah, you give him the camel toe, darling. There you go. See, I'm on your side. Star Wars Outlaws. Oy vey. I think that's fair. Fantastic Four. Now, I have an interesting theory. I don't know if it's true, but I'm getting more and more convinced of it. That the MCU is very different to Star Wars in that they want to get better. Right, I think Kevin Feige wanted to survive and saw the way the wind was blowing, and Captain Marvel and just they did the bullshit, and it all fell apart. Right, but essentially he was doing what his bosses wanted. Now it seems like they want it to work, and I think they're trying to course correct. Now, can you course correct the Falcon Captain America one? Don't know. Really don't know. But the one movies after that actually seem like they look quite good, including Fantastic Four. I mean, even with Pedro Pascal. I'm like, Pedro, how about this? You and Luke Skywalker just get your fucking mouth shut for a bit, okay? Oh, anyway, waiting for the special apocalypse. I like they could come out at us with a sledgehammer, right? With a nuclear bomb. Goodbye. Yes, if that's the way it's got to go, Nicola. That's the way it's got to go. But I'm glad you like to dress for the occasion. Yes, poor Russell. Poor Russell. Okay, kids. Now, racism as bigotry has defined as white people and only white people not wanting anyone to hypersexualize their children. Essentially that. Oh, we're under attack. Fuck off. Mate, You have no fucking idea. Here, let me show you something. So here, this is my day job. Okay. This is a magazine, little pamphlet that goes out to all synagogues. Torah tidbits, right? Let me see if I can find some funky ads. This is the Jewiest thing you will have ever seen, right? I can't show you that. Too Jewy. I mean, this is a pretty, typical page. You have guys selling property in Ashkelon. Think how much money you'll save enjoying your family holiday in your own Seaview beachside apartment instead of in hotels. Eyewall stands with our brave soldiers. I mean, yeah, this is very typical. This is the Jew. Anyway, so I did this ad on the back, right? This is my work, including I did this book cover over here, right? Hang on. So what you really can't see is this. It's the there's a story, right? Because we're coming up to this day of mourning. This period of mourning really ratchets up tomorrow night, right? Which is why I think the global situation is going to go to shit, right? I think it's all tied together. I have to wait and see, baby, right? A second. There you go. What was I talking about? Fine, yeah. So this is like a real period of introspection and mourning, and we think about the shitty times it was to be a Jew, and we got quite a few to choose from. Anyway, so this is a book. So so it's all started with the destruction of our temple a couple of thousand years ago, and one of the great rabbis of the time, Rabbi Akiva, and some other rabbis were in a hill overlooking the where the temple was, and now it was a smoldering wreck. And there were foxes running through the Holy of Holies, right? The rabbi started crying, but Rabbi Akiva started laughing. He said, well, there is a prophecy. Why are you laughing? They said, there is a prophecy that that there would one day be foxes running through the Holy of Holies, right? And there's a prophecy that it will all be rebuilt. So just as this is true, that is true, right? So let me pull up that book cover. Where is it? Hang on. So that's what I try to represent with this book cover. Where is it? Let me try to find. Oh, is this one? Fine, this should do the trick. It's in the cloud. I go hit download. Oh, Agita. My life is Agita, ladies and gentlemen. Agita. So there you go. Fine. Again, very Jewy book. It was, again, the fox is made by AI. This is a model of the Jewish temple. And this is the destructive. So as they moving from one to the other, right? So I'm trying to depict that story there. Anyway, as part of that, I've been transcribing all these stories of people in the Holocaust. So Russell, let me tell you, fuck you, you fucking drama queen cunt. You don't know from being under fucking attack, right? You don't fucking know from it. Stop. I mean, man, the bullshit that happened there, that's what racism looks like. By your socialist buddies, you dumb fucking cunt. Tell you what, why don't you tell us kids it's a good idea to cross-dress? I'm sure it's going to work out well for everyone. Don't stop at cutting those dicks off. It's just to firm their gender. Oh, I mean, honestly. And that's really my job right now, right? I'm... but there are cheery things as well. Anyway, with that, let's get to the chat. That's how I feel. I'm under attack. Really? Oh, you know. And the thing is, because it's like they're normal people, right? And then all of a sudden, that shit happens. Like one day somebody comes in and you don't own property anymore. Right, and none of it's yours. All your business, everything's confiscated from you. Yes, and that's the law, right? I mean, I think you're getting that. That's what it's like in England now, right? Where the law is not on your bloody side, apparently, evidently. Man, that went south quickly, didn't it? Under a month, isn't it? Haven't they been in power under a month? And look, I mean, fuck me, that is like. I mean, really? I've never seen anybody fuck up this quickly. this much, right? Like, are they still blaming right-wing people for like it's so disgusting. They call him most of the country racist. And I'm sorry, most of the country are not racist. Oh, and you know what? They don't give a shit because they got another 5 years. They do. Okay, it's been a month. Remember that. It's only been a fucking month. They haven't even got. You haven't even got started seeing the shit that's going to go down. Holy crap! I mean, like, really? Man, England's a shit show. I'm not saying with glee. I love England. Oh, I mean, honestly, your only and I'm not advocating violence is some kind of way of, causing a vote of no confidence. Man, I mean, it should be there should be material right now for a vote of no confidence. I mean, just on that, that's unbelievable. Oh. Like, would you buy a car from Keir Starmer? No, you fucking wouldn't, would you? No. Well, he's like the oily headmaster that got to his job because everybody else died, right? That's essentially the vibe I get from him. Like, it's a complete useless mouthpiece for the WEF. Anyway, with that, bit of a stupid political conflict. Hang on a second. Fine. Let's get to that. Darren Emmons, how are you doing, Darren? Thank you for joining us. As in Paul Toslin, as is X-Men 577. I am looking forward to talking about X-Men and Wolverine, which, oh man, dog's bollocks, right? Very, very happy. Paul Down says, Ted has been over-grooming and been leaving me gifts. Okay. This morning it was right by where I stand and get out of bed. Okay. Much worse than that. There are four positions in a tank, right? There is loader, gunner, a driver, and commander, right? So what you do when you're in Gaza is you go and shit outside the tank. Essentially, most of my son's war stories start with, so I was having a shit, and I'm not joking. Most of his war stories do start with, so I was having a shit. I kid you not, right? I kid you not. This is what it's like. It really is. I want you to get an idea. So I think the gunner went outside for a shit, but he did it right outside the tank. So when somebody went out for a shit, trod in his shit. And he was like, what the fuck? And he demanded they get him new boots. I'm like, they're not wearing these things ever again. Which I quite understand, quite frankly. But the thing is, they did. I'm like, well, okay then. I don't know how we got to that story. Right. Oh, by Teddy. Okay, Teddy. Started Babylon 5 marathon now. Just a bit they did in Crusade and the movie. The movies are good. Crusade is... it never really it didn't develop, right? They had a couple of good episodes with Edward Woodward's son, right, as the techno mage. Some interesting flashbacks with that. Quite good alien porn, right? I mean, it's okay, but again, it's an incomplete story, kind of like Raised by Wolves, which I thought was excellent. But sadly, it's an incomplete story. It's going to remain that now. I will say, and also Legend of the Rangers is just not good. But the first three, well, In the Beginning, that's awesome. Third Space, that is super awesome. You can get like upscaled 4K versions online or 1080p version online. What's the other one? Third Space, In the Beginning. And there was another one. Was it a Psychop one? Now looking it up. Okay, fine. Babylon 5 movies. Okay. So we had Third Space, right? That was what's that one? River of Souls. Oh, that was a bit shit. That had the holographic brothel in it though, which I quite like. Where you had to wear this like skin tight suit that would like it would touch you with the hologram touch you. And Commander Lockley, as I recall, was one of their number one. What's it called? One of their number one holograms. Right? Third Space was pretty good though. I did like Third Space. Then you had two other ones. Call to Arms. I don't remember that one at all. And what's the other one? Well, you had the Road Home. That was excellent. Oh, mate, you want to make sure you get the Road Home. That is the dog's bollocks. That is very good. Right. The Gathering. Well, that was the pilot, right? They just changed it a little bit. They took out one line. It was Londo saying, "Under its final commander, Commander Sinclair," who then left at the end of the season. Now I like Sinclair. I mean, I believe he sadly killed himself. Yeah, man, that's very sad. Fine. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I like Babylon 5 too, is what I'm trying to say. Divining Dragon is Aiden. Divining Dragon. They should have. Oh, they didn't do one with the Cyborg. Right, Bester was great. Waterkin was just great. I loved him in that. Man, that was a class show. Neville is here. How you doing, Neville? Thank you for joining us. And dear Star says hello and Ekilo. Ekilo to you, sir. Ekilo to you. Where are we up to? Am I caught up with the chat already? Well, that's pretty darn good. Look at me. Nice and quiet. Fine. What should we do first? Let's do Deadpool and Wolverine, right? I am genuinely very impressed with it. Let me wait 1 second. So we got a Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, you got that one. Doink. Do we have... What's that other one I just got, which I thought was a bit better, a bit funnier? Hang on. Oh, there it is. And this one. No, that's not it. This is it. There you go. Deadpool and Wolverine. Fine. So I've finally seen this. And yeah, man, it's a big recommend, but I wouldn't recommend going to the cinema for it. For me, it wasn't worth going to the cinema. But there's a Blu-ray version online. But normally what I do is I look for an online version of a movie I want to see, but it's too much trouble to go to Flicks, like Planet of the Apes, right? And then if it's a good movie and I like, I will buy it. And I really want to buy the physical copies of this, Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, and Furiosa, which I really enjoyed. I thought that was very authentically Mad Max. Amazingly. But a lot of people strongly disagree, but I liked it a lot. So I'm going to buy it. But if it's something I didn't like, I wouldn't. I'll go on a movie cinema website and buy a ticket. Right, that's how I would do it. So this one, yeah, I'm definitely buying it when it comes out on Blu-ray, and it's got a proud place on my shelf for many reasons. So I went in this with low expectations of it being like a reasonably stupid wink, 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 constantly at camera. Rabbi didn't see the Southport Killer as a Doctor Who fan. I don't want to know. All right, we'll get to that soon. Oy vey. Thank you, Neville. Yeah, look, if you are vaguely into Marvel comic books ever, this is like a slow wish fulfillment hand job to you. It definitely delivers everything that comic book fans have wanted to see in Wolverine forever. But actually also delivers, I think, a very, very engaging and entertaining story with great characterizations that feel authentic and have weight and purpose. And it was also funny and fun, right? And also, again, very reverential to comics, delivering what people have wanted to see in their fantasies of what a comic book movie. And some things you see and you go, oh, that's why they've never done it. It looks stupid, right? But some things are, a lot of it really cool. So it's weakest when it's nearest the Disney universe. And for some reason, I can't remember why, you have the time cops from Loki show up, right? And there's Ryan Reynolds is very good. That's something I really didn't bargain on. I thought Ryan Reynolds would be irritating. No, he was actually very, very good. He's very funny and very clever, right? And yeah, definitely good with this role. And he's able to add layers to it, which without diminishing the snarkiness of it, right? And the humor of it. The humor of it is very good, right? And honestly, I think this is a great movie to merge between the 20th Century Fox and the Disney universes, which is a lot of what this movie is about, very openly, as Deadpool says to camera often, right? So anyway, yeah, so you got that time thing, and yeah, that's not very good. But Matthew McFadden is a bad guy. Matthew McFadden, I really like Matthew McFadden. He was a great character in Succession. Succession is a TV show about this ultra wealthy Rupert Murdoch type person and his family, right? And his like dysfunctional family, and he was married to his daughter. And he just like full of greed and avarice, right? Essentially. So he was great in that. So he plays the villain in this. He's like the time, whatever, keeper's villainous guy. I don't know. Like he's essentially a MacGuffin to get Deadpool and Wolverine together, right? So yeah, this universe is going to die because there's no Wolverine. So Deadpool goes on a mission throughout realities to find him, essentially, right? So this is where you get a lot of very good cameos. You get like the Henry Cavill Wolverine, which isn't as good as you think it's going to be, right? But yeah, there's so many in jokes and cameos in it, and like just relentless. And again, as a movie to watch at home, fantastic. A movie for streaming, fantastic. I would be irritated if I went to the cinema, but like it's a movie that you can stop, go, and go and have a shit and come back to. You really don't want to miss any of it, but it's a bit full on, right? It's good to turn it off for 10 minutes, right? When you go for a shit, you go like, oh, yeah, it's good, So they find this alternate version Wolverine. It's Hugh Jackman. Essentially, it's exactly the same. And he's let down his universe. He's got like this guilt stuff going on. But he let his Professor X die or something along those lines. So yeah, again, he's got that like very ingrained Wolverine. I'm beyond redemption and self-hatred, where he normally starts his arc from, right? Where he started his original arc from. And then for some reason they get zapped into this netherworld, right, where people cease to exist. And then you get a ton of other great cameos. I mean, they are and not even cameos, I will say characters, which are a lot of fun, right? A lot, and again, delivering stuff that you've always want to see. The villain Cassandra Nova is awesome. Oh my god! So yeah, this feels like a comic written by Grant Morrison and what's his name, Garth Ennis, and drawn by Frank Quitely, right? It's got such an authentic comic book vibe. It is amazing how authentic it is, right? And again, sometimes to its detriment. But Cassandra Nova is fantastic, right? They got this effect where she runs fingers through people's heads. Let me see if I can get a trailer of this to comment on, because again, I'm surprised at how good it was, right? I'm surprised again it was a movie that actually had characters you care about, right? I'm genuinely surprised about that. How was what about this one over here? Fine. Hang on, let me just download it. Here it comes. She cried. Jigger, jigger. There it is. Fine. Pull it up. Move this. Everything's hard. Doink. Downloads. There you go. There you go.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
I mean, again, this is like, Wolverine Prime.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy. Here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider.
Yeah, so again, there's lots. So yeah, so they end up in this nether region. You see the 20th Century Fox logo there. Yeah, and what this really turns into is a really, I would say, very, very heartwarming ending. Yeah, ending, and also a celebration of the 20th Century Fox superhero universe.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come again.
This Wolverine.
I mean, yeah, and I hate to say it, he is perfect for this role, right? And he's still perfect 20 years later. And yeah, they say that at the end. Ryan Reynolds said, "Yeah, now you've made it through the Disney universe. They begin ringing. They're going to make you do this till you're 90, till you're 90." I mean, it's good, and there's lots of break the fourth wall stuff, which is very good. There's Matthew McFadden's a bad guy.
Let down his entire world.
Yeah, no, the action and the fighting is off the chart awesome. It's all very, I found it very, very good. I like that a lot.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
I mean, this is very much like delivering things that every comic book fan has wanted. Again, I am not massively into Marvel. You know, I knew this. I'm like, and this looks like it's plucked directly from the pages, right? This looks like it was drawn by, what's his name? John Buscema? I can't remember his name.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man.
Oh, they had the X, whatever it is, the girl that follows him in it.
The X.
Well, they had it's a great conceit because they're in this like nether region where like anything that ceases to exist goes. They can have different people play the roles. It's a different, or maybe there's the same ones. I don't know, right? I don't know. There's somebody else. There was somebody different playing Juggernaut.
X-Man. I am soaking wet right now.
Yeah, and again, if it doesn't look like a 20th Century Fox logo in the back, that's kind of brilliant, right? If it doesn't feel like they're trying to deliver every comic book geek's fantasy, then I don't know how they can present it any more clearly. The taxi driver from the other one wasn't in it, and also T.J. Miller, obviously. I think I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was a bad boy or not, right? I know he was Me Too.
Boys are so silly.
Oh, she's awesome. I mean, I get such a great villain. And she looks great. This absolutely totally works.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, look, them being inside a giant Ant-Man costume, right? As the base, that gives you the vibe.
Big slow motion.
Oh, and yes, this dog is awesome. Does a lot of licking faces.
Action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair representation. Oh, yeah, so this is one of the Miss Doctor Strange circly transporter things, and he calls it, glowy Disney circle. Yeah! It is the best use of Madonna sound.
Do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupter?
Even forest bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes, but I can't.
So yeah, again, I think that's a very good trailer. It was very representative, right? So yeah, they're in this was it Never region, and they meet up with Jennifer Garner's Elektra, Wesley Snipes' Blade, and they're all great as it. They're actually better than they ever were before. And Channing Tatum playing Gambit, right? And oh god, he's enjoying it so much, but he's too fat. I'm saying to Stanley Channing. Yeah, it should have been 20 years ago, but they're like there is a line that saying, we are people that were forgotten, and he says, oh no, they never even knew, and you can really hear like it was paying him not to be Gambit, and he did that whole thing with a Creole accent. I couldn't understand a word, and so Deadpool says, I can't understand a word you're bloody saying, right? Which I thought was very good. Then in the last act, finally, Wolverine, what's his name, Hugh Jackman, puts on the Wolverine head thing, right? And they have a massive fight. Again, the fights are fantastic. I can see why they didn't use the traditional mask in the movies before. It looked stupid. And it looked exactly like the comic, and it looked stupid, right? You couldn't pull it off. It just genuinely doesn't work at all. But good on them for trying. And again, Deadpool says to the camera, it's taking you 20 years to do this. And they even make fun of breaking the fourth wall, where they have somebody else do it. They do it badly. But again, every comic book fans, it's a wet dream fantasy time, right? And then at the end, right, you have over the titles. Are you waiting for like a mid-scene, title scene, and instead they play a video retrospective of the entire 20th Century Fox superhero universe with Hugh Jackman in it throughout. Like you see him when he's younger, you see them making, and they reference every movie, right? And it's really lovely, right? It's a really lovely little recitation of like, oh man, and they played it at the time of your life. It was great, and it was like in Star Trek 6 when you had them all sign off at the end. It was a beautiful ending, right, to the and I think a somewhat perfect ending to the 20th Century Fox superhero universe. I love that they did that as well. It really showed so much care and love for the source material, and that's also very true. Care and love for the source material dripped through every pore of this movie. It was very, 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 very genuine, right? Again, I'm very surprised. There's no one more surprised than me at how good I think it is, and I really thought it was very, very, very good. Fine, let us get to. Let's look at let's see what news headlines there are, and then I have a couple of things picked out. Don't share screen. So if I wasn't clear, yeah, that's a recommend. Yeah, I did hear the Southport killer was a Doctor Who fan. Not good news, mate. Not good news. So let's refresh this. It's tracking amongst the highest of the MCU. That's very impressive. Wow. Why is Penguin a girl? What the fuck? Zack Snyder taking a wait-and-see approach to James Gunn's Superman. I really am excited about it, frankly. Right? I really am very excited. I want to say, I've never seen anything bad that he's done. I like all his stuff. I like Peacemaker. I love Suicide Squad. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry. He's just delivered good quality entertainment to me. Right? Nobody watched Acolyte. Fails again to make the Nilsons for episode 6. I was out by it. I couldn't do more than episode 3. So yeah, look, is this desperation bringing in Robert Downey Jr. or is it like a real desire to not die? I don't know. Let's see what's happening on Bounding into Comics. Rumor: Marvel Studios fired all the producers that could be labeled activists. Lucasfilm doubling down on all the nonsense. Oh man, that's exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think. And they do seem to be trying to turn. I mean, can you turn it around? Can you turn around the Captain America movie? I hope so. Because, man, wouldn't that be great? Right? The NFL doesn't want to keep Colin Kaepernick, and we don't want his AI comic books. Yeah, fuck off, Colin. Couldn't care less about you. Was it former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick launches new AI comic book generator, Lumi the Goers. Let's have a look at this. I'm a kind of a big fan of AI. Is a bit too much. Okay, this is awful. But really, can I just give me a link to it or something? Lumi the Goers did Colin Kaepernick AI startup. I can't wait. Maybe we'll come back to this. I find it somewhat interesting. I mean, if it's something I can use, I'll use it. Bleeding. Let's look at Bleeding Fool. Bleeding Fool. Doink. Darcy Landing is definitely not moving forward. Okay. BBC pulls contact over disgraced news presenter and child killer. Well, more than been pulled out. Amazon Batman Cape Crusader is a DI shadow of its predecessor. That's a shame, isn't it? PK's long gestating Battlestar Galactica reboot gets cancelled. Thank fuck for that. Right? Thanks fuck for that. Fine, there's a lot of stuff we want to come back to here. This looks interesting. Let's look at Bleeding Cool. It's always another good place. Bleeding Cool. Doink. We'll just have a look at the headlines and comment. I don't really care. TV. I'm not watching Umbrella Academy. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm too grossed out. Trump dodging Harris ABC debate. Eyes Fox News. Home court advantage. Yeah. Look. I think this is totally fair. Quite frankly. There was he had arranged to do a debate with Biden on ABC, who are like rabidly anti-Trump. They're insanely biased, right? But you think with Biden being a doddering old fuck, it wouldn't be an issue, right? All he's got to do is let Biden talk. Harris, you got to try and get her to answer a question. She's all about evading anything, so it would not be to his advantage. On an incredibly partisan network, I think Foxy is the only person. In truth, it should be Tim Pool, right? Should be the moderator if they want to have any real credibility, right? That's what I would recommend. So there is a Doctor Who article here, but let's have a search see if there's more. Second. Thank God it's been a quiet weekend. So again, I'm kind of expecting there to be a radio attack in the middle of the night. God, that suck ass. We have to find Doctor Who. It's so high. There we go. Doctor Who. Time Fracture. Remember that failure. Taking up the Hugh Edwards episodes. And the Doctor Who started full course for 50. Yeah, I understand. I understand. That's not very interesting. In fact, let's search of Doctor Who stories. Excuse me. What's that? I think we'll look at the Hugh Edwards stuff. This is disturbing. They're really into showing this guy as a kid because he's cute as a kid, right? They desperately are. Man, this is going to destroy England. I'm sorry. I think this is the point where people are like, no more, right? I don't know. Fine, let's look at these stories. Yeah, but this is where I first saw it. BBC to airbrush Hugh Edwards' voice from. Where'd he go? Come back. What? Okay, that's just annoying. Really? What's it? Britain riot, shame. Police officer attacked in Liverpool as looting breaks out in Hull with shops and cars set on fire by far right. I don't believe you. Clash with mosque defenders in Stoke. As Home Secretary vows, rioters will pay the price. Well, rioters will pay the price, not Certainly not in the Muslims. It's like they say they've really picked a side, right? Really? Why would that go away? Oh, here we go. No. Okay, I guess we'll read it somewhere else. I mean, that is just annoying as hell. It really is. Okay, fuck you, Mail Online. Holy crap. That's just so annoying. Fine. We'll get it from Bleeding Cool, I guess. Okay, update. BBC issued a following statement to TV Zone. An episode of Doctor Who has been temporarily removed from BBC iPlayer to be redubbed. So I guess that's Fear Her. Is that the episode he was in? I think. With the fallout of the Hugh Edwards having pled guilty to charges making indecent images of children still being felt, excuse me, why are they surprised? I don't understand why the BBC are in any way surprised. They're not surprised. They just didn't care. Because the BBC has a long history of, child molestation. And sadly do. I mean, yeah, one second. Can I find that clip of Johnny Lydon? What was it? Johnny Lydon on Jimmy Saville. Where is this? Trying to find where they had, because there's a clip of when he was going to spill the beans on live on air, and he you could see that he wanted to, right? Yeah, maybe they have it over here. Man, I love John Lydon. Honestly, he really gives you an insight into the BBC. Let's download this one. Here it comes. Doink. Because the BBC's always been riddled by bloody paedophiles. Like, they're like, no, it cannot be. Like, what are you talking about? BBC is a degenerate place. What about to Doink? Video file. Yeah, Channel 4 News. Ugh, generally speaking, I hate them.
The lead singer of the Sex Pistols, he gave a whole new meaning to the phrase, God save the Queen. Johnny Rotten, as he was then, gave voice to the furious, rebellious instincts of the punk generation. 37 years on, and John Lydon, as he is now, has written a new autobiography. So has he mellowed? I went to meet him to find out.
Let's have a look at that, right? I look at it like...
Honestly, I really think he's one of the most important artists living today. I really do.
Cool, that man's a bit hard and severe, but at the same time...
Well, are you hard and severe?
He's big, a bit whimsical. Look at the chin, right?
I don't look at the chin, I look at the hair.
Nah, you've got to look at all of it.
It's him with Jimmy Saville.
Have hair, so I can actually say...
Why do you think the Sex Pistols didn't last longer?
The bad management might have had everything to do with it, but mostly we were put together in such a ramshackle way that we never gelled as human beings once we started to work together.
I find this interesting. Why don't you talk about the BBC, mate?
One of the things which really interested me there was your view about Jimmy Saville and your knowledge at the time that it was going on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think all of us, what we call the peoples, knew what was going on with the BBC.
As bad as we now know it was?
Yeah, we knew.
I think it still is, mate. I think it still is.
We knew that you go to Top of the Pops, what you were facing. It was common knowledge, but it wasn't common knowledge in the media.
Did it stop at the disc jockeys? Did it stop at Jimmy Saville, or were the performers also doing this?
Oh, I have no doubt some of the performers were up to messing around with underage girls, but that wouldn't have been my way. I've always viewed myself as a victim, so I'm always there for the disenfranchised.
It's very interesting he always viewed himself as a victim. I mean, I felt he's like such a strong person.
What do you make of the politics of today?
Vile nonsense, stupidity, lying and deceit, of course, will always be a part of the political agenda.
Where was this from? I lost this. Well, let me find where I was. It's from 9 years ago. But yeah, look, unfortunately, it's not the clip I really wanted, where you see he's about to spill the bit. Let me try Johnny Lydon about to spill the beans. It's a fascinating a video. It's not this one. It's a shame. It was on Jukebox Jury. Could be. I don't know. Anyway, look, it's a BBC. Come on. Like, who are you trying to kid? I don't know. Fine, let's read this. With the fallout of Hugh Edwards having pled guilty to making indecent images of children, still be again, and I want to know what this means. Does this mean, like, 18-year-old girls in stocking suspenders, heels, and a schoolgirl uniform, right? Or 22-year-old girls. I'm not picky, baby. I'm not picky. It doesn't mean that, or does it mean kiddie porn? I really don't know, right? I really don't know. I assume it's the worst one, right? I assume it's worse. Because it's the BBC. Why are they always lecturing you about all their perversions, all their degeneracy? Because they're degenerates. Right? No, obviously they pedophiles find a home there. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Having played guilty, making charges. So it appears the BBC had pulled a full episode of Doctor Who from its iPlayer streaming service that featured the ex-BBC news anchor, who they paid and gave after they knew what happened, and gave a raise to. I mean, like, really? Earlier this week, during his court hearing at Westminster Magistrates Court, Hugh entered a guilty response to all three charges, with his next appearance set for the 16th, September 16th. During the Tennant episode, Billy Piper starring in the second series of the long-running BBC series. Edward's voice can be heard in 11th episode of Fear Her, directed by Hugh Slim, written by Matthew Graham. Bit of a naff episode. It's okay. No one's going to notice. It was a shit episode. Earlier rumblings that were the BBC were editing out Hugh's voice from the episode. Meanwhile, the BBC continues to face a number of questions and criticisms regarding, continuing to hire this paedophile. Fuck. I mean, what the fuck's wrong with you? How did you expect people to react? That's all fine then. No need to worry. Earlier on the BBC with meanwhile, criticising the situation. Here's a look back at the official statement that was released by the media company this week after Edward's guilty plea. Well, what did they say? BBC was shocked. No, you fucking were. How were you shocked when he said this was going to happen? I've been arrested. How are you shocked? Shockingly, details that emerged in court today that have no place. There can be no place such abhorrent behaviour. And our thoughts are with those affected. Look, mate, we don't believe you. Right? Again, the entirety of the media said the Stockport killer was a Welshman. Really? And now they relentlessly put out pictures of him as a cute kid. Well, I wonder why that is, right? I wonder why that is. Where we are. Police have confirmed that the charges are not connected to the original complaint raised with BBC on Summer 23. Really? Nevertheless, in the interest of transparency, we think it's best to set out some points about this of events of last year. In November 23, Mr. Edwards was suspended at the BBC as an employer and would pay. At the time, he was made aware in confidence that he'd been arrested on. He was made aware, as his employer at the time was made aware of his incompetence that he'd been arrested on suspicion of behavior of serious offences and released on bail. Whilst the police continue their investigation, at the time no charges have been brought against Mr. Edwards. And the BBC has also made aware of significant risk to his health. Oh, no. Oh, he feels bad. It can only feel better if a 12-year-old sucks his dick. I guess he's going to get sick then. Today we learned of the conclusion of the police process as the details presented in court. You knew about it, you lying cunts. If at any point during the period Mr. Edward was employed by the BBC, he had been charged. The BBC had determined it would act immediately to dismiss him. In the end, at the point of charge, he was no longer an employee of the BBC. What the fuck? Oh god, they all speaking gobbledy fucking gook. So yeah, that's where they draw the line, apparently, right? We will put up with perversion upon perversion relentlessly, right? Because gay people are under attack. Sorry, gay people are under attack. I've lost where I am. Where was it? Because gay people are under attack. No, they're not. I tell you. I don't know. It's a they're here. 1 second. Let's do a quick update. See if Big Finish lets me in yet. Hang on. Because I've been waiting to see if I can log in. Let's see if it works, or if I can have to reset my. And we'll try this. Because I use my old email address. I signed up years ago with it, and I updated it to my Gmail address. But I did it too late. It said it should migrate by the weekend, or they'll do it manually. Which I know it's not going to migrate, right? I know, no, okay, fine. Doesn't let me do it in still. Oh, it's so annoying, right? It's so annoying. I tell you, the new site, it's not great. The old one was really better to see what was going on, right? Yeah, I'm really not a fan of this new site at all. It's I'll get used to it, I guess, but I think I'll feel better about it once I can get into it, right? I that's really the thing. So I have to email them tomorrow. Oy vey. Fine, doink. No, let's go to this next. Boy accused of Southport murder starred in Doctor Who themed advert for children in need. Yeah, and yet still he grew up hating us, right? I'm not sure why he committed his crimes. It seems, and again, I've been offline for the last 25 hours. It seems that these crimes were committed by people who hate, Britishness, British civilization, whiteness, Taylor Swift. And again, that's for me knowing nothing about this whatsoever, right? Alex Rudak Umbana seen leaving the TARDIS dressed as a doctor wearing a trench coat and tie to look like David Tennant, according to reports. So that's why this happened, because they didn't have a black doctor yet. And look, he puts on David Tennant's costume and he becomes a doctor. That's the thing. Its skin color so doesn't fucking matter. Unbelievable. And the weird thing is, Ncuti Gatwa has robbed black people of actually having the whole bit, I can put on a simple silhouette and be the doctor. Oh, God. This one is achievable by most people. Right? Oh, man. So was he a Doctor Who fan? I guess he probably must have been. Right? I don't know. Let's see what he's going to say about this, right? 6 hours ago. I think. The teenager accused of, again, why do they keep trying to make him sound better? The teenager accused of murdering 3 girls in Southport once starred as the Doctor from Doctor Who. It's Doctor, not DOCTOR, not DR. In Children Need Advert, according to reports, and a now deleted clip from the charity in 2018. Well, obviously, 2018, we're in the age of woke. Alex Rudak Umbana was seen leaving the TARDIS in a trench coat and tie, looking like the show's former star, David Tennant. The then 11-year-old tells viewers it's that time of year again before offering advice on how to best waste money. Man, that's really... I thought it was just in the background. He talks on camera? Wow. Okay. Look, this is just horrible beyond horrible. I think everyone's assuming there's some kind of racial motive. I don't know if there isn't. It seems like, I don't know. What else would be the motive? I don't know. But I think are these riots real? Is it really far right people? I have no idea. But this has certainly been caused by Keir Starmer's complete incompetency. Oh my god. So you've seen leaving the TARDIS. BBC Children News spokesman told the Times they had deep sympathy go out to everyone impacted by this shocking case, and we have now removed the video from all our platforms out of respect to them. I understand that. The 17-year-old appeared in Liverpool Crown Court on Thursday. He was named as Axel Umbana from Banks in Lancashire after reporting restrictions were lifted. He's been charged with murders. Oh, it's so horrible, isn't it? Like it's like I can't, like, I see it, and it's like I can't read it. It's so horrible. Oh. Rebecca is also charged with attempted murders of a yoga class instructor. Like, what the fuck? Businessman John Hayes and 8 children. Yes. He was running in custody until October. I mean, are they reporting anything about them yet? Let's look up. I'm scared. Yeah, I'll do it on a different screen. But man, I'm kind of reminded. Do you remember when the Time Team went super duper woke and lasted for 20 seconds because it turned out there was a one or more purpose involved, right? I don't know. There was some kind of weird sex thing going on with it. What did you think, like the Guardian, Washington Post, Telegraph? What was it from 2 days ago? I guess there's no information out about him. I don't know. I don't know the news. Right, I'm a bit offline. Man, that's really quite disturbing. Man. We had a Doctor Who story over here, didn't we? Yeah, okay, that's the BBC. And again, look at it. Like, it does this not go hand in hand with wokeness? Like, everywhere you see wokery, you see weird sex stuff, right? I don't know. So, human trafficking sting at SDCC stokes anger as multiple sex workers arrested. Okay, now tell me what. A human trafficking raid at Comic-Con San Diego resulted in 14 arrests and 10 rescues over the weekend. According to a press release from California Attorney General Rob Manata, joint investigating with San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force in a 3-day human trafficking sting that arrested 14 sex buyers, 9 adults who were potential victims of sex trafficking, and rescued a 16-year-old. Okay, well, thank God for that, right? Unfortunately, the sex traffickers capitalized on a large-scale events like at Comic-Con to exploit their profit. We need to explain. I mean, is it like geeky themed? What? These arrests send a clear message to potential offenders that their criminal behavior will not be tolerated. We are grateful to hear our dedicated partners involved in San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force, whose collaboration has been invaluable. However, the announcement of but I'm happy they caught the perverts. However, the announcement of the arrests and rescues was met with skepticism by many who were accused by the accused Attorney General of enforcing an unconstitutional decrees arresting sex workers while ignoring the real problem and labeling prostitution as trafficking. Oh, so they're lying. Okay, or ignoring the real victims. Okay, so big worker attack sex workers like this is sick. It's wrong. What's wrong with the cops? That's a lie. The cops and anti-trafficking organizations use these events to make money to arrest innocent sex workers. You're paying them because they're not innocent. I honestly, I do think it's fucked up that if somebody wants to take money from sex, then you get the people that you're going to target. I mean, although again, I think it's terrible we live in a society where that's an option. Majority of human trafficking is non-sexual labor trafficking, and this includes adults as well as children. Why are there no raids on real trafficking victims? Okay, you arrested grown consenting women for doing their jobs. Okay, look, this is just where my mind's going. Are there geeky themed hookers? Because I want to know more about this. I can't do a search. It'll work out like bad. Oh man, that sounds like. I mean, I hope they did save people and did do good, but who knows? It's so hard to tell, right? Lando product no longer moving forward. Who couldn't see that coming, right? Disney announces more Star Wars The Acolyte content with prequel. Like, why? How hard you have to suck, right? I don't get it. I mean, it's bizarre, right? It's totally beyond me. But here, this headline story. It's really what I've been thinking recently. Marvel Studios fired all the producers that could be labeled activists. Lucasfilm doubling down on all the nonsense. Again, and this has been my theory for a while. As the old adage goes, the more things change, the more they stay the same. According to a new whisper from within the halls of Disney, while Marvel Studios reportedly learned their recent mistakes and cleaned house of any activist producers. Well, it doesn't seem like that's going on in Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm is charging Lucasfilm is choosing to keep on their creatively bankrupt path to self-destruction. Yeah. Oh, this is apparently a divergence between the House of Mouse and the two subsidiaries was at first raised on the 2nd of August by film threat founder Chris Gore. Interesting. On a recent Critical Drinkers open bar podcast. Okay, so I'm glad there's other people saying this. Authoring of thoughts on Marvel Studios' near future outlook in the light of the showing of the recent 2021 Comic-Con, Gore opened up says, I think we're going to get a year of bad Marvel stuff. Marvel TV shows, you've got Agatha all along and Ironheart, and these two movies, Captain America, bringing us Thunderbolts. I think there's a chance they can turn around Thunderbolts. I really do. Fantastic Four, we'll see. We'll see how Robert Downey Jr. will be used. I think they're probably going to use him in a clever way. I think the Russos are... Apparently, Robert Downey Jr. was only going to come back if the Russos came back. And I think that's a good fit. It does sound like they want to turn things around. But they got all this shit still in the can, right, ready to go. I don't know what to tell you. We added... He added, referring to the news that his former Iron Man actor will be playing Doctor Who in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War duology. Is he a variant Tony Stark? Is that actor just playing a different character? Whatever it is, I think it's interesting. I would tend to agree, right? Was it Axel Malley? Did that page? Where's that from? From Iron Man Chronicles by Axel Malley. Wow. I don't remember that at all. 2017. I'm so out by then. In further arguing for his optimism, Gore then asserted, I do know people who work at Marvel have cleaned house, and they quietly months ago fired all producers that could be labeled activists. And you did start to see a tone change from Marvel a few months ago, didn't you? That is true. Unlike Lucasfilm, we said Lucasfilm is lost. They're doubling down on all the nonsense. You're never going to get anything good out of Lucasfilm and Star Wars. That's it. It's over. Star Wars is over. I'm prepared to say Star Wars is over. Turning to explain the reasons why Marvel's used apparently house cleaning, Gore detailed, Kevin Feige recognizes basically that he tried it. It didn't work. He's talking about Phase 4. Continued to noted the film critic. That's it. Tried it. Didn't work. No Kang. None of these characters none of these characters don't have any legacy of classic characters. And if Deadpool and Wolverine proves anything, you've heard the phrase "male and pale is stale." That was spoken loud across the studios. But if you look at the box office this year, I would say "male and pale is money." Apparently so, yeah. And it's that phase that I think people should adopt. Again, it's when you get caught in a bubble universe where people are saying one thing and it was not true. Like how much can it permeate, right? I don't know. Only whether or not Marvel actually has changed post Phase 4 identity politics based approach remains to be seen. And unfortunately, given that Pedro casting as Reed Richards, I'm very nervous about that as well. The results probably likely won't be seen until Avengers Doomsday. Well, listen, here's the thing. Pedro Pascal can act, right? He's a real actor. Can he keep his stupid mouth shut? I think actors are pussies, essentially, and they will do whatever they're told and go wherever the wind blows, right? I genuinely believe that. But I'm going to wrap up soonish. Let's have a quick look at Screen Rant. Let's see what insanity is going on over there. Deadpool and Wolverine box office set to be break huge R-rated record previously held by 2000 Mel Gibson movie. What's the 2000? Now I've got to look at the article. Just tell me the article. 2000. Passion of the Christ. You couldn't say that, you fuckwits. You just didn't want to say Passion of the Christ. Oh, that's so annoying. Best start coming up. Don't believe you. Well, God, I don't believe you. Doctor Who's Sutek retcon as a hidden consequence for the Fifth Doctor era. I might look at that tomorrow, right? That looks kind of fun. Doctor Who art features every Doctor passing. Oh, go away. Doctor Who's shown on bi-generation explanation creates amusing titles. It's all shit. Oh, fuck me. Current Doctor Who is just shit. I gotta wait another couple of days to get into my bloody Big Finish account. Did they release what's the name yet? Death World? Oh, annoying. That's it. And now I've got to navigate to try and find it in this rat's maze of a new site. Come on, Big Finish, you opening up or not? You've just like decided, nah, I'm done. Looks like they have done. Really? Big Finish? Hello? All right, maybe the site's down again. I can't deal with it. Oh, Big Finish. We love you, but why are you always such shit? Right? I don't know why you're always so... Oh, hell, I got to open this window. Hang on, let's see if it'll open up. No, it looks like the site's down. Fuck me. It's just a shit show, isn't it? I mean, it's just genuinely a shit show. All right, what's it? Now I got to find out. Okay. Is it down or is it just me? Let's have a look. Ugh. Okay, now we go. It's thinking about it. I think it's going to tell me it's down, isn't it? Oh. Now it's taking me long forever to find out from you. Shouldn't you just tell me? Really? Really? Like now I'm just getting irritated at this website. Okay, don't you know yet? Wait, did it open up? Now open up. Oh. Okay, let's see if it will tell us if Death Wall's been... I mean, really? Why am I fighting so hard to find out basic information? Really? I'll look at the twats. Oh, Big Finish, you're a pain in the ass. Look at this. Da, 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 da. It's just not moving, right? Stuff for Legend. Okay, they haven't announced it being released. I don't think it's been released yet. Okay, that's where I am. I don't think it's been released yet. I basically like the new design, however. You know, the whole design aesthetic. Oh, finally, it just opened up over here. I don't know. Fine. I honestly, Big Finish, you give me Agita, baby. You give me Agita. Don't really care. Fine with that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap up. I'm back tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock here, just when we start this morning period where I'm not allowed to eat meat, except on Sabbath, right? And then was it Monday? Yeah, so I'm not going to be on Monday night. It's also Tuesday I won't be on next week. We'll work it out. We will work it out. Fine, with that, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to hit it again and say good night, good luck, and may your God